In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the inventory form batch upload in the MnSHIP application. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to go to my dashboard. To open up the inventory form batch upload, I'll click upload here. Batch upload is a function in the application that should be used for folks that need to turn in a number of inventory forms all at once. Basically, what you're able to do is take a pre-formatted shapefile, populate attribute fields with a subset of the attributes that are in MnSHIP, and then add the geometry for those various features in the shapefile, and then bring them into the application as a draft. This is a feature that should be done by folks that really know what they're doing and are not going to be creating a bunch of forms that they're then going to be deleting. As I've mentioned in earlier videos, every time a form is added into the MnSHIP application, that number associated with that form is used only in that instance, and then it's discarded if it's deleted. So we're trying to limit the number of gaps we have on inventory numbers. So please only use this function if you're really confident that you can do it correctly. So there's a number of limitations with this, and I'll go over those first. So the first is that you can only batch upload 100 forms at a time. The shapefile that you use has to obviously have only one geometry type. So you can only do point properties at one time, or line properties, or polygon properties. Additionally, the properties that you're adding have to be newly recorded properties. You can't do any updates from the batch upload. And then the last thing is that the data that you put in the attribute fields has to conform exactly to MnSHIP parameters. That's the domains and the character limits. And there's documentation that'll help you through this. Okay. So I've opened up the inventory form batch upload, and then at this point, I need to upload a shapefile. So I've already pre-populated a shapefile with features and the attribute tables that I'm going to be uploading. So I click upload shapefile, I go to choose file, and then I navigate to where this shapefile is on my computer. I click open, and now it's ready to upload, but I'm going to show you another thing first. So if I hadn't pre-populated that shapefile, what I would do is click template, and what that does is it downloads those empty shapefiles that have the exact schema that I need. So you'll see here I have the line, the point, and the polygon shapefile. So those are blank, so they just need to be populated. There's also a README file, and in the README file, it sets out the various parameters and the domain values and the character limits that need to be adhered to. Also, it shows you what fields are required. So if any of these aren't met when you're uploading, the system will actually kick back an error. So I'll show you that here in a minute. So this is how you get those blank shapefiles, and then more information on how they should be configured. Okay, so now I have my shapefile ready to be uploaded. I'm going to click upload, and now there's about 100 properties that I've added, and I've pre-populated them with values in the shapefile. So at this point, they haven't been assigned inventory numbers yet, but you can see here where they're all located. Okay, now these are ready to go. When I click submit and generate, the system is going to go through and see which of these features conform to the domains and character limits and which ones don't. The ones that do, it's going to give me a success on the status. The ones that don't are going to give me an error. This error message here also gives me a flag that says, hey, at least one of these didn't upload correctly. So in this case, there's a message, and it says that the railroad company name that I found was not part of the domains in the application. So you can see here I had a spelling error. Instead of Minnesota, I said Minnesota, and that did not conform to what was in MnSHIP, and so that entire feature here did not upload. All the other ones did, however. Okay, so now what I've just done is I've created draft inventory forms. So let's go take a look at those now. So in order to get to those, I would then go to my Manage Forms on the dashboard, Manage Forms, and now I've added 100 properties, and they're all going to be on the Managed Forms. So I'm going to open up one of them. So this is one of the ones that I just added, and it has the pre-populated values that I had in that shapefile. But what you'll notice is that it's not everything is filled out. Some of the fields were not part of the shapefile, so these will still need to be entered, including the associated forms, the historic and current function in use, the architectural style, primary exterior material, the design professional services group, the dates construction group, the attachments, you'll need to add any attachments, and also the thumbnail. So in order to edit these, you would just do the same steps that were gone over in the earlier video that was called adding a property. So once you went and added all the additional fields for the particular form that you're in and you're ready to submit it, you would just go through, you would accept the terms of use and click submit. And then all the subsequent steps are the exact same as they were for if you were just adding a single property at a time, which I went over in the adding properties videos earlier. So that gives you a idea on how to do the batch upload. Again, it's a tool that's very useful for folks that are able to take those shapefile templates, populate them correctly, and bring them into the application, and then finish them. If you're going to just do a number of like 4 or 5 or 15 properties at once, maybe it's easier for you just to do those one at a time. But when you're getting into that, 20, 30, 40 properties, and if you have some GIS capabilities, then maybe the batch upload is an option for you, at least to get those forms substantially drafted outside of the system. But it's really up to you.